Hello, Orbis here, and today I'm going to be ranking every track on the White Album by the Beatles. So, yep, I'm finally tackling the beast that is the White Album. It's been about 3 weeks since I did the last one, the Magical Mystery Tour one. I've put it off long enough, and we're finally doing it. There's 30 songs on the White Album, so it took a bit of time to rank them all, and it was pretty hard because I love most of the songs on the album. Like there are ones near the bottom here that I absolutely adore, but I had to put them in A order, so that's just how it is. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter which songs are better than the others. I love the album as a whole. I think the White Album is as a whole experience is amazing. Even the songs that I guess don't like, I can't imagine the album without them. So I'm going to go through the list. I'm going to try, keyword try, not to linger on certain songs. I'm just going to try and go through the list. So we'll start with the bottom. The worst one is not Revolution 9, actually. It's Wild Honey Pie, which is a little bit annoying. It's very short. I can't remember how short, but it's very short. It's annoying, but it doesn't really impact the experience of the album too much. And I guess it adds to the whole album being very varied and at times experimental. I mean, it showed the Beatles were just kind of willing to try anything. So yeah, next up is Revolution 9. A lot of people will say this is the worst Beatles song, and I understand why. It's barely even a song, and yeah, I understand people maybe skipping it when it comes on, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I think sometimes I just enjoy really weird and avant-garde music. Sometimes I'm in the mood for it. Reminds me of some Frank Zappa stuff. And it's amazing because it's like the Beatles were the biggest pop band in the world, and they were doing stuff like this. Like you never get that now. Imagine Ed Sheeran doing something like Revolution 9. So next up is I put Continuing Story of Bungalow Bill. I do enjoy it. It's like a children's song. It feels like a theme to a children's show. I think at times it can get annoying, but I do like it. But yeah. Next up is Why Don't We Do It in a Row? Why Don't We Do It in the Road? Yeah. I kind of I feel like I have to rank it low because it's so simple. It's the same line over and over, and it's very short. But I really enjoy it. It's got high energy. I think Paul's vocals on the song are pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I love it more than I should, basically. So next up is Obla Di Obla Da. A lot of people hate this song. I really like it. I ended up ranking it low, but that's just because there's tough competition on this album. So next up is Don't Pass Me By, which is sung by and written by Ringo. So this is the first Beatles song that is written by Ringo Starr, and it's one of two. It's far from the best song of the album, but it's pretty good. Apparently he wrote it like really early on in the Beatles' career, which the lyrics I like because it's kind of pretty autobiographical. I don't know how to say that, because it's almost telling the fans, I'm here as well, John and Paul are great, and George is as well, but remember, I'm here. Don't forget about me. It's got a country feel to it, which is great because it adds to the variety of styles on the album. So next up is Piggies, a George song, and it's great. It's very political, and yeah, it's great. Next up is Good Night, the closer, which is sung by Ringo, and I think it's it's not one of the highlights of the album. It's not one of the best ones, but it's a great way to close the album. I mean, it's literally a lullaby. It works well, yeah. Next up is Birthday, which I think has a fantastic riff. I like the rocking energy of the song, but I think there are better rock type songs on the album. Next up is Long Long Long, which has a very kind of a psychedelic vibe to it. It's great. Next is Cry Baby Cry, which there are better acoustic songs in the album, but I love this one anyway. Next is Your Blues, which is fantastic, especially the Dirty Mac version. I kind of felt like I couldn't rank it too high just because it's quite derivative, which is the point. It's basically a blues parody. I mean, it's literally... It is. The reason I feel like it's a parody is because it's like the blues is about complaining about... it's talking about the blues that you're feeling or whatever. And this song is kind of taking that to the extreme by literally talking about suicide. So, next up is Mother Nature's Son, which is it's a really nice, it's a sweet song. Next is Honey Pie, which is fairly derivative, but I love it anyway. Next is Savoy Truffle, which has grown on me a lot. I think it's great. It's great. Lyrically, it's pretty simple. It's literally just listing off treats, but it's great. Next is Sexy Sadie, which is just fantastic. Next is I Will, which in terms of being a love song, it's about as simple as you can get, but I love it. I feel like it's so pure. Next is Julia, which is a really sad song, to be honest, because it's about John's mum, who obviously died years before. It's just very, very heartwarming, and it's great. Next is Revolution 1. I do prefer Revolution, the one that's a single. I can't remember if it's a single or a B-side, but yeah, that version's a bit better because it's heavier. But this version's fantastic as well. Next up is Rocky Raccoon. I wanted to place the song a lot higher, but I had to try and be a little bit objective with it. There are better songs than this on the album, but I love this one. This is a personal favourite of mine. I just love the story it tells, and it's good enough that a Marvel character was written and based off this song, Rocket Raccoon, which is relevant right now because obviously Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out recently. So next up is Dear Prudence, which is just fantastic. Glass Onion is next. I used to find the self-references slightly annoying, but I've come to love the song. It's one of my favourites. Next is I'm So Tired, which the lyrical matter is quite simple. It's literally about being tired, but that's quite relatable, which makes me feel an attachment to the song, I suppose. And whenever I hear someone complain about being tired, I always think of this song. Next up is Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey, which is probably the Beatles song with the best name, and it's just it's a great rocker, quite heavy. I love it. And next up is another rocker, Back in the USSR, which is the opener. Next is Martha My Dear, which I absolutely love. It's a love song, but it's actually written about and inspired by Paul's dog. I think it was a sheepdog, maybe? I can't remember. But yeah, it's nice that he wrote a song about his dog. And it's great. Next is Helter Skelter, which I couldn't not rank this song super highly because obviously it's a pretty important song. A lot of people call it, it's very proto-metal. And it's great. Next up is Blackbird, which is obviously a super iconic song. I couldn't not rank it high. So yeah. Next up is, by the way, we're at the top now. So this is Blackbird is the third best song on the album. And the second best song on the album as Happiness is a Warm Gun, just a song that every time I listen to the White Album, I seem to like more and more. I genuinely think it's a masterpiece. It's like similar to A Day in the Life in that it has like multiple sections, but it's way more condensed. So it's a pretty short song, but it's so it's very epic for a short song. I know Tom York praised this song a lot, and I think they were definitely inspired by it when they did Paranoid Android. So yeah, masterpiece. And number one, I've gone with While My Guitar Gently Weeps, which might be a kind of generic answer, but I think it is the best song on the album. It's fantastic. It's weird because the other George songs I've ranked kind of low. They're good, but Why My Guitar Gently Weeps is one of the best songs George Harrison ever written, and yeah, it's pretty untouchable. So, yep, that was my ranking of every song on the White Album, and I believe this is going to be the longest one I've done of these, but that's not really a surprise, is it? So, next up is... Actually, I think the next one is Yellow Submarine. Yeah, I'm going to do the Yellow Submarine album, but I'm only going to rank the first side. So that'll be a very short video. So we're going from the longest one to probably the shortest one. That one will be like a minute long. So yeah, that'll come out at some point. Thank you for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you want to see more. So I'll see you soon. Bye.